Hello and welcome back to another Healing Hikes adventure for this week. We're doing a 50-kilometer training walk, so I'll go through heaps of tips and tricks on how to do 100 kilometers. But last week we did Mount Lofty and there was an abandoned house, so check that video out after this one. So why am I doing a tips and tricks video for you guys? Well, first of all, I want you to feel confident and know that you're able to finish an ultra marathon with the right and correct information out there. So why should you feel confident in my information? Well, first of all, I'm coming up on my 8th 100-kilometer walk. I've also walked 30 kilometers every day for 30 days and been hiking for over 10 years. In the education space, I was a personal trainer for over 7 years and ran group fitness classes and had personal clients. And I've also been to university and studied a Bachelor of Education and Physical Education as well. So please note that I'm only letting you know this just so you are confident in the information that I'm providing in this video. And yeah, go out there and do your best and have heaps of fun on the trail. All right, we are 5 kilometers in, so I thought we'd start with a nice, easy, basic one. Choosing the right trail. So self-explanatory, choose a trail that you're going to train on that is very specific to the exact same track conditions that's going to be on the event. Now, if you do want to get in as many kilometers as possible, obviously you're going to have to go on a flat surface just so you can get the pace right up. Now, I will go through pace and gratings a little bit further, but for today I'm doing a 50-kilometer walk and I've got limited time, and a lot of the event that I'm doing the Great Aussie Hike on will be flat. So I've chosen the rail trail for today. I'm on the Great Victorian Rail Trail. It's Victoria's largest rail trail. It's 140 kilometers long, give or take. And yeah, it goes from Mansfield, Alexandria, all the way over to Broadsford, so the northern part of Melbourne. All right, we are 10 kilometers in. So let's talk daily minimum. Now, you're going to have to prioritize training. You can't just go into an event and think that, oh, I'll just do, you know, a quarter of the total amount, 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers, and that will be enough. You have to be able to prioritize training. And I would always say that if you can do 3/4 of that event distance, so say 75 kilometers, 70, 65 kilometers confidently, then you'll know that you'll be able to achieve the 100 kilometers. So as a daily minimum, we all have time constraints, but I would definitely suggest getting in 10,000 steps daily. Just keep that body in a motion, and keep your mind in a movement motion as well, and prioritize. Try and get either an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. This is the daily minimum. This is not your big peak distance walk for the week. How cool is the Chavoit Railway Tunnel? So yeah, one of the highlight features of the Great Victorian Rail Trail. All right, we are going so well for time at 15 kilometers. So talking about time, let's talk about pace and gratings. So before we establish our pace, we need to understand what grade of track we're walking on. In Australia, it's the Australian walking track grading system that's used, and it goes from 1 to 5. 1 is for those with a disability or a mobility issue, so the track will be quite flat and easily marked. Number 2 is for families and those with small children. 3, we're walking into, steeper inclines and declines with variations in the trail and track surface and conditions. Grade 4 is a combination of grade 3 and grade 5, so it's getting more difficult once again. Grade 5, you do need to be able to navigate. The trail may not be signposted. It will be very difficult terrain. It's not going to be a nice flat hard surface as we're walking on today. There'll be a lot of rocks, a lot of climbing, and you may even need to be able to figure out how to purify your own water and stuff like that along the way. Okay, so now we know about gratings. So now we can figure out our pace. In the world, they use Naismith law. Now, Naismith law gathers that the average human can walk 5 kilometers per hour on a flat surface. So now that we know what grading systems we're working on, if we're going to be doing an incline or a decline, that 5 kilometer hour per pace average will decline itself down to potentially 2 kilometers an hour, 3 kilometers an hour, or 4 kilometers an hour. Some people like doing, minutes per kilometer. So, the average if you're doing 6 kilometer hours pace, you're doing obviously 10-minute kilometers. So it takes you 10 minutes to do 1 kilometer. So there are 2 variations of calculating, but let's keep it really simple and just keep it with how many kilometers we're doing in an hour. So now you know pace and gradings, and I'm doing 50 kilometers today. How long is this walk going to take me on average to complete? All right, so we've hit the 25k mark, so let's pretend as if it's an actual event, and we're going to do a quick blister check and go through blister prevention. So first of all, what am I sitting on? I'm sitting on a shamag, and that's just has so many uses. I've done actually a video on all the uses for that. So in my pack, I will always have a spare pair of socks and jocks, all right, and the shamag. I can lay it out on the ground. Let's go through blister prevention. So 3 things that cause blisters are obviously, the wrong shoes and socks, but it's heat. So walking on a very just on a hard flat surface, constantly, just not changing the socks, not giving the feet room to breathe, they overheat. Moisture, so socks, your feet just get too wet, and then either from stepping in water or rain or from sweat, and then that causes the skin to rip. And then the last one is friction. So that was heat, moisture, and the last one is friction. So it's just the rubbing of the skin. So yes, I double layer my socks. I will go into what happens with sock and shoe selection later on in the video. And I have strapped my feet as if it was an event, just in prone areas that do get blisters. And I've used a Fix-A-Mal tape. Fix-A-Mal is a webbing tape that allows your skin to breathe. It has, as I said, webbing, so it's very small little holes. Do not use an Elastoplast tape, a sports tape. It is very thick and it will not breathe, and it will hold moisture. So it will cause more heat and it will cause more moisture. So you need a webbing tape that is going to allow your feet to breathe. So for a 100-kilometer event, I like to take my shoes and socks off every 15 kilometers. I like to be more of a preventative than looking for treatment. So I try and strap and make sure that I'm staying on top of my feet and making sure that they are good as possible. So let's change our socks and then get back on with the last 25 kilometers. 30 kilometers in and feeling fantastic. So let's talk the gym: sets, reps, rest period, and the 4 different phases of training in the gym. So you've got endurance, hypertrophy, strength. Hypertrophy is muscle building, and then you've got the anaerobic phase, so power. So starting off with power, you have to do the heaviest amount of weight possible and the lowest amount of reps possible, and then the highest rest possible. So for an example, you'd be doing 1 to 5 repetitions of a maximum weight, 3 to 4 sets, maybe even more if you want, but with up to a 5-minute rest in between each of those sets. Moving forward, we're going to do strength training. We're going to be doing anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. Ideally it's 8 reps, and it's going to be 75% of your maximum ability. And the rest period will be anywhere from 90 seconds to 2.5 minutes. Similar with the sets, you can do anything from sets from 3 all the way up to 10 sets. Hypertrophy, so muscle building, we're going to be doing anywhere ideally from 10 reps to 12 reps. You can sometimes do 8, but we're only lifting 50% of our maximum, 50 to 75% of our maximum, and the rest periods are around 90 seconds in between sets. For what we're doing, ultra marathon endurance events, we want to be doing endurance reps. So that's 15 plus repetitions, as many sets as you want once again, but a lower weight, 25% of our maximum, and the rest periods are going to be very low as well, because we're pushing our body to the maximum of its endurance. So anywhere from 0 rest to 30 seconds rest. And so they're the 4 phases: hypertrophy, endurance, strength, anaerobic, and power. All right, shoe and sock selection. Let's zip through this one nice and quickly. So shoes, obviously go seek a podiatrist, go get your foot properly measured for width and length. And then when it comes to walking really long distances, plus 20 kilometers, you don't want to be doing a hiking shoe for the simple reasons it's made of leather, or they're really thick and heavy, not as breathable, and yeah, just really rigid. Not as much flexibility in the sole. So that's right, when it comes to picking your shoe, you want a trail running shoe or a running athletic shoe that is flexible, lightweight, breathable, preferably waterproof or water resistant. Bring different pairs of shoes as well, so you can change them if you want, but never try new shoes on the day of the event. Always wear your shoes in so they've been gotten used to. And yeah, so the sole has to have some kind of air or gel, some really nice cushioning and foam in there. So sock selection is vital because you want to wick the moisture away. Moisture causes blisters, as you know, so you want to get that moisture away from your foot. So you need natural fibers like wool or a blend of natural fibers. I use bamboo, so bamboo is very nice and soft on your feet, and it also is a natural fiber. I also wear 2 pairs of socks, so when the bottom layer of sock gets moisture, it wicks to the second layer, so then that way the moisture is not sitting on the skin of my foot, making it soft and prone to blisters. Also, a side note with your socks, turn them inside out to avoid the stitching from rubbing on your foot. You don't want to get 10-20 kilometers in after 100 kilometers and you can feel that stitching rubbing. You can buy socks that don't have stitching, but obviously they're going to be more money. Toe socks, I've never tried them because I've been happy with bamboo, but try the toe socks. Remember, natural fibers. Also, just as a side note as well, before you put on the shoes and socks, every 10-15 kilometers when you're doing that change, just give them a dust off and a pat off for any debris, rocks, or little small stones and dirt. You don't want to start walking and then be like, oh damn it, I've got to take my shoes and socks off again. So yeah, lay out a towel, change your socks and shoes, figure out your blister prevention and treatment methods. But remember, don't trial anything new on the day. All right, we are 40 kilometers in and I thought we'd talk pack selection. So in this modern day, there is so many different types of packs to choose from. It's absolutely unbelievable. I think I have about 10 different types of packs, everything from 100 liters all the way down to your bum bag. So let's talk ideal packs for walking 100 kilometers. I'll start off with the smaller variety. Nowadays you can get bum bags that are absolutely fantastic. So your hips are your strongest pivot point, meaning that they can carry the most weight without putting stress on your neck and your shoulders. So your bum bag, nowadays Camelback does a bum bag and Kathmandu that have like drink holders in them as well. So just water bottles, and your bum bag, you just carry your essentials, your snacks, your first aid and your navigation, and a possible raincoat. You can get rain jackets that can fold up into just pocket size, tiny as the size of your hand. So yeah, bum bags are great. I've got a trail running vest on. I love pockets and I love going on big walks. So I think this one has, you know, heaps of external pockets, and it separates the weight evenly around my torso, so I can have some stuff on my chest and some stuff on my hips as well. And then I've got the storage capacity in the back for 2 to 3 liters, so a little bit more than a water bottle. And then you can get your 15-20 liter like traditional Camelbacks backpacks as well. But remember, your hips are your strongest pivot point, and you want something that's going to be ideal for carrying light loads quite comfortably over a long distance. Right, we are 45 Ks in. Oh, feeling fantastic. I love getting to this distance. Just can't replicate it as like just in any other environment. So let's talk food and hydration. So we'll start with hydration. Hydration, it's important for not only morale, but it's important for your muscles, heart and brain function. Nowadays you can get a lot of additives that you can add to your water, you know, like electrolytes and stuff like that, and that's really important, BCAAs, but if you're not getting the right amount of food, nutrition in, that's where you need to add extra supplements into your hydration. I wouldn't recommend just having electrolytes by themselves. I also recommend having water with them as well. On a side note, when you're buying a bottle of water and it says purified water, stay away from that type of water. Why am I saying that? Well, because it's been purified. They've taken all the purities out of the water. Water is meant to have minerals in it. It's meant to have, you know, magnesium and zinc and all this, like, you know, sulfurs and salts and all the stuff that's natural from the earth. So if you're buying a bottle that's been purified, they've taken all that stuff out of there. You can research on Google that the purities can go all the way up to 1,000 milligrams and plus. That's why natural springs and stuff like that is really good to go drink from, because you're getting all the rich nutrition from the earth. So stay away from purified water. So yeah, carry your water. There is a rule of thumb, you know, drink a liter every 15 Ks or something like that, or 10 Ks, but obviously everybody's body composition is different. So have a look at the nutrition label, check out how much protein, carbs and fats and how many calories you're going to be burning. When you are walking 100 kilometers, you can be burning anywhere up to 20,000 calories in that 24-hour period. So you will be needing to supplement it with those 3 food groups of protein, carbs and fats. I'll just talk very basic and simple. What do I like to eat? I like to eat a nice ham salad roll. Lots of salad in there, beetroot, carrot, lettuce, tomato, some cheese for flavor, and either some ham, chicken, turkey. Turkey's very nice and lean, chicken as well, and some ham on a nice wholemeal or multigrain roll, or a wrap. Wraps are very nice and lightweight, so I can have them folded up, put in my pack, and I can have them over, you know, whenever I want while I'm walking. I like to walk and eat at the same time, as well as designate some time to have a meal, but I don't want to spend too long in the rest stops because that will cool my body and my mind down. Steering clear of sandwiches and wraps. Everyone knows nuts, trail mixes with dried fruit, dehydrated fruit mixed in with the nuts is great. Chocolate is really good. You want stuff that's like a high, you're looking at the glycemic index, so you know how quickly your body burns all those carbohydrates and turns them into energy. So what other stuff? Lollies are good, but they're just going to give you a quick sugar hit. They're not going to be sustainable energy for 100 kilometers. So you want high nutrition, high food, good quality food. Another snack that I like to have is fruits, stone fruits. I absolutely love stone fruits. Anyone that's subscribed to my channel will know that I love peaches, nectarines, blood plums are my favorite. And yeah, you can they're just so succulent, just to chew and juice. And then you've got the pip you can just suck on as an oral fixation to keep the pain away. Anyways, I've rambled on enough about food and hydration. Oh, the sun's setting. Oh, we're coming up on the end of the 50 Ks. So we've done an absolutely amazing pace. Considering I've been filming, we had the 10-minute break for the blister prevention and education. So thank you so much for watching. So how long did it take me? You had your guess. So it was 8 hours and 33 minutes of walking time. So an amazing fast pace with the 10 minutes of breaks. So that's an hour and 43, and then with filming. So yeah, I hope you learnt something. I know there was a lot of talking in this video and they're not normally like this. But I tried to keep it educational. I am still releasing a hiking education series where I will touch on everything individually in their own episode and give them room to breathe without talking too much. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're all well and happy hiking.